You'll be seeing the likes of Stand the Man Stasiak, the heart punch specialist, Stand the Man, opposing Mr. Rhodes, and it is unquestionably always a pleasure to have one of a kind like Mr. Rhodes return to the garden. Scheduled for individual wrestling competition, Mr. Fuji from Osaka, Japan, and Mr. Fuji, I believe, will find that he faces the toughest opponent he has faced in quite some time, perhaps ever. Mr. Fuji battling it out with the all-American boy, Mr. Bob Backlund. This in addition to the fact that Ken Patera will be meeting the Samoan Chief Peter Maivia and Mil Mascaras, ladies and gentlemen, in the #1 spot. Mil Mascaras opposing the Worldwide Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion, Superstar Billy Graham. At this moment, ladies and gentlemen, if we may, let's bring on Mr. Fuji from Osaka, along with his manager, Mr. Fred Blassie. This should be quite a test for Mr. Fuji. Will you not grant that Bob Backlund is everything everyone says he is?
Yeah, and I got a few more other names for him, too. Listen, this will be a test for Mr. Fuji. It'll be a test for Backlund. Then you will know how great he is. Only then. And I guarantee you he won't be too great when Mr. Fuji gets through with him and using his kamikaze. Right,
Well,
Mr.
that is
Fuji?
a devastating hold. There's no question of that. But certainly, Mr. Fuji, I'm sure you're aware of the fact that Bob Backlund has read the book on you and studied you very closely, your films, the tapes, and what have you, and is actually very much aware of the tactics you use in the ring.
Very true. Like you said, he read tactics of Mr. Fuji. Me, the sensei, he flunked course because I am superior than all this honky. Me teach you, Backlund song, how devastating Mr. Fuji is, how vicious Mr. Fuji is.
You see that?
Yeah, you
That's
see.
it for kamikaze. #1, Ichiban, Mr. Fuji.
Well, unquestionably, should that kamikaze clothesline be applied, I would think Backlund, like he is only mortal, I would think he, like anyone else, would fall to defeat. But then again, you have to apply it on him.
Oh, first, I must soften him up. Then, when I throw him up, catch him, he'll finish. For good, perhaps.
Mr. Fuji, Ichiban. Ichiban, Mr. Fuji.
Mr. Fuji versus Bob Backlund in Madison Square Garden. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on the ranked #1 contender in the Worldwide Wrestling Federation today, the international wrestling star Mil Mascaras. Mil Mascaras with unquestionably not only the body to rival that of superstar Billy Graham, but perhaps superseding his abilities in many, many categories. Mr. Mascaras, if you please. Against superstar Graham, we've seen you in Madison Square Garden. You're undefeated all over the world. And against the superstar, he may try to overpower you.
Well, I'm ready for the championship match. I promise very, very, very good match because he's strong. He's a big man, you know. I'm thin little strong. I make very good action. I promise all you fans one of the best matches you never see.
It will be a good match. There's no question about it. All the ingredients are there. You take that massive bulk of Graham, take your tremendous physique in its own right, and there's a lot of power, a lot of agility, and then the moves, the likes of which we've never seen before, that you possess in Madison Square Garden, and recently on the ropes, flying off, and we've never seen anybody move like that, and I don't think Graham has either, and considering that, you may have an advantage.
Well, I think I go use different techniques, different tactics this time, you know. This is a special occasion for me, you know. And
No question of that.
I'm wearing my special secrets for this time, for championship match.
So we can look for some different techniques then in Madison Square Garden against Superstar.
Yes, sir. I don't like talk too much, you know. But only I say I'm waiting for here in the middle of the ring, and I promise very, very good match.
If you would say something in Spanish for us.
Bueno, quiero invitarlos a todos que vengan a apoyarme, vengan a darme el apoyo moral que yo tanto necesito. Yo les prometo a todos ustedes la mejor de las luchas, una lucha sensacional porque él es grande, muy fuerte, tiene muchas habilidades, pero yo nunca he usado todas las mejores habilidades que yo tengo. Es que yo les prometo a todos ustedes que si vienen a ver aquí en el Garden mi próxima lucha, una de las mejores de toda la vida. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mil Mascaras, ladies and gentlemen, opposing superstar Billy Graham, and that unquestionably, as we said before, has the ingredients of making one of the greatest wrestling matches held in Madison Square Garden. Superstar trying to hold tight to his championship against Mil Mascaras, ladies and gentlemen. The main event here in Madison Square Garden to take place very shortly.